The day Aarav Malik decided to rent out the only spare room in his tiny sunlit house, he felt like he was signing away his pride. The afternoon light streamed through cracked curtains, exposing peeling paint and worn-out furniture that told the story of too many sleepless nights. He had once been a confident architect with big dreams, but now he was a single father barely holding things together for his 8-year-old son, Kabir. Bills were stacked like silent accusations on the kitchen counter, and the refrigerator hummed almost mockingly in the background. That morning, when Kabir asked if they could afford his school trip, Aarav had forced a smile and said, "Soon." But inside, he felt like he was failing. If you believe in kindness and second chances, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Life Spark Stories. Your support keeps stories like this alive. By midday, the doorbell rang. Standing there was a young woman with a suitcase and eyes that carried both determination and quiet sadness. Her name was Meher Kapoor. She wore simple jeans, a pale blue kurta, and carried herself with a calm grace that didn't match the dusty street outside. She said she was starting college nearby and needed an affordable place to stay. Aarav hesitated, embarrassed by the modest state of the house, but Meher looked around with warmth rather than judgment. She said the sunlight in the room reminded her of home. Life began to shift in subtle ways after Meher moved in. She would wake early, helping Kabir pack his school bag while Aarav rushed to freelance construction sites hopping for steady work. During the afternoons, when sunlight painted golden rectangles on the living room floor, Meher studied quietly at the small dining table. She never complained about the fan that squeaked or the unpredictable power cuts. Instead, she filled the house with a calm energy that made it feel alive again. Aarav struggled silently. Work was inconsistent, and some clients delayed payments for months. One afternoon, under the harsh brightness of the sun, he received a call informing him that a major contract he had hoped for had been awarded to someone else. He sat on a park bench, staring at children playing cricket, feeling the weight of disappointment pressing down on him. When he returned home, Meher noticed the exhaustion in his eyes. She didn't ask questions. She simply brewed tea and left it by his side, offering quiet companionship rather than pity. Kabir grew fond of Meher. She helped him with math, cheered during his small victories, and listened to his endless stories about superheroes. Aarav began noticing how laughter returned to their afternoons. For the first time in years, the house echoed with joy instead of silence. Still, Aarav remained cautious. He had learned that life could change without warning. One bright Saturday, a sleek black car stopped outside their modest home. The vehicle looked out of place against the narrow lane. Aarav stepped outside, confused, as a sharply dressed man emerged. Before Aarav could ask anything, Meher walked out behind him. The man addressed her respectfully, calling her Miss Kapoor, and spoke of a worried father who had been searching for her. Aarav felt his stomach tighten. The pieces began to fall into place. Meher turned to Aarav with tearful honesty. She revealed that her father was Raghav Kapoor, a powerful business magnate known across the country. She had left her luxurious mansion after a heated argument about living a sheltered life. She wanted to experience reality, to earn her education without privilege shaping every opportunity. Renting Aarav's spare room had been her attempt to understand ordinary struggles. Aarav felt a mix of shock and betrayal. He had opened his home without knowing he was hosting a billionaire's daughter. But when he looked at Meher, he didn't see wealth or status. He saw the young woman who had helped his son smile again. The father stepped forward, apologizing for any trouble caused and offering to pay generously for the months she had stayed. In that sunlit moment, Aarav straightened his shoulders. He refused extra money. He said Meher had paid her rent fairly and had given something far more valuable in return: hope. The billionaire father studied Aarav quietly, perhaps seeing for the first time what dignity looked like without luxury. Days later, Aarav received a call from a prestigious development firm. They had reviewed one of his old architectural proposals and wanted him to lead a new community housing project. He later learned it was Raghav Kapoor who had recommended his work, not as charity, but because he genuinely respected Aarav's talent and integrity. Meher left to reconcile with her family, but not before thanking Aarav for teaching her what strength truly meant. The house felt quieter after she left, but it no longer felt heavy. Sunlight still poured through the windows, and this time it illuminated possibility instead of struggle. Kabir eventually went on his school trip. Aarav stood at the doorway watching him leave, realizing that sometimes the greatest blessings arrive disguised as burdens. A single decision to open a door can change the course of a life. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement means more than you know. And before you go, take a moment to comment the word hope, if you believe kindness always finds its way back.